Hello, today is Saturday, December 16, 2023. Welcome to my channel, Proven Cures. I am your host, Sarah McLeod. I am a medical writer and a clinical research specialist, and I am well aware that it has been just over a year since I last posted to this channel. This channel is dedicated to sharing the results of published clinical trials, and since the emergence of the pandemic 3 years ago, most of the scientific community's efforts in the public and in media, major media, has been surrounding getting the spread of the big C infection under control. So to that end, I decided I would put my efforts on a back burner and allow that pandemic to kind of get under control first, and then I would jump back in. I wasn't even sure if I would be able to restart the channel, but God is good, and here we are. Most of us who have lost loved ones have been able to recover from grief, recover from financial losses, and we're still here, and still other diseases abound. And I am here to continue my research on recent published trials. Normally, I would keep my clinical literature reviews within the past 5 years. So now most of my reviews will be on studies that have been published since 2018. And it's funny because 2018 was the year that I actually started this channel. So if you are an old subscriber, thank you for not unsubscribing. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, because even if you don't find my current topic to be useful, I am constantly finding new information. And even if something is not useful to you, you may find it to be useful to a friend or a family member or even a neighbor, someone you may run into. You might say, hey, I'm having this problem, and you can say, oh, I heard this and blah 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 blah, or you can direct someone to youtube.com/c/proven cures. Okay, thanks for watching. Today's topic of discussion, folks, is actually about a product that is currently on the market, available for sale. And a lot of times with supplements that we have on the market, we don't have clinical trials about them. We don't have clinical trials about the ingredients. For this one, we have a clinical trial, and I want to share the results of the trial. It's not a huge trial. Was considered a pilot study with only 36 participants who actually stuck it out to the end of the trial, although 51 people were enrolled. You know how that goes. People get busy, they get ill, they whatever. They don't stick around. But 36 people stuck around, and remarkably, all 36 people benefited. Well, those who were in the experimental arm of the study benefited from participating in the study. And that is why I find it beneficial to share with you now. So this won't be long at all. The title of the study is Curalin Supplement for Patients with Type 2 Diabetes Mellitus. The study was published February, initially, let me see, what's the initial date of publication? Give me 1 second. It was first published February 16th of this year, 2023, in a journal titled Diabetes, Metabolism Research and Reviews. Okay, and the authors, in case you want to look this up for yourself, are Ronnie Weinberg-Sibony, Julio Weinstein, Maya Ish Shalom, Tali Gans, Eliza Rosenberg, Ilan Yanov, Uri Eliyahu, and Itamar Raz. Any of those persons are watching this and I mispronounced your name, I apologize. So the objective of the study was to examine the efficacy, meaning the usefulness and safety of Curalin supplements in patients with type 2 diabetes. And in order to establish the usefulness of this supplement, the primary endpoint was to look for a decrease in hemoglobin A1c levels, HbA1c levels. So of the persons who participated in the study, there were actually 2 study arms. Okay, let me find that information. I don't want to, I kind of have it on the top of my head what the 2 study arms are, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. So here they are. So the first study arm were a group of people, a cohort of people who at screening, their hemoglobin A1c levels ranged from 7.5% to 9%. Okay, so that's one study group. And then the next study group were a group of people whose HbA1c levels ranged from 9.1 to 11%. Those were the 2 study groups. And I'll tell you. So those were the 2 treatment arms. Each of those groups were given the Curalin capsules, 2 capsules 3 times a day for 30 days. So the study lasted for 1 month, and that is when all of the results were taken in and calculated and statistically measured. Okay, patients were asked to take 7 glucose measurements once a week on the same day using a freestyle glucometer that was supplied to them. Okay, and so let me tell you how the results turned out here. I'm looking for the statistics. 1 second. So with our first treatment arm, so each treatment arm now, their hemoglobin A1c levels were compared to the group that got a placebo. So some people got the Curalin and some people got maybe a sugar pill, something that would have no effect on the blood sugar per se, or no expected effect on the blood sugar. So in our first treatment arm, the persons who had hemoglobin A1c levels of less than or equal to 9%, there was a average decrease in the group that had took the Curalin. There was an average decrease of hemoglobin A1c levels by 0.83% compared to the placebo group that had a decrease of 0.13%. That's pretty huge. In our second treatment arm, those were the persons that started out with HbA1c levels always ranging between 9.1 to 11%. Those who received Curalin experienced a decrease by 1.16 versus the placebo group that experienced a decrease of 0.88. Linear regression analysis revealed a significant decrease in HbA1c levels in the Curalin groups overall versus the placebo arms. So that's pretty awesome. I would also like to share with you the patient demographics. So for this study, there were the breakup with men to women ratio was 60% men to 40% women. The average age of the persons in the study was 63 years old. Okay. The average years of living with diabetes amongst study participants was approximately 14 years. So these are people who've been fighting the disease for quite some time and just simply could not get their hemoglobin A1c levels where they where they wanted them to be ideally. So that is why they chose to participate. None of these persons, which is remarkable, were expected to stop taking their oral therapy, their whatever treatment they were on. So the Curalin, remember the title of the study is Curalin supplement for patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. Supplement meaning I'm taking this in addition to my medication, my prescribed medication from the doctors, not instead of. And they all benefited after participating, those who received the Curalin, of course. The average BMI was 30.44, so they weren't grossly obese people. They all managed a blood pressure in the range of 133/81, so that's not terrible. They maintained average creatinine levels of 0.85, average ALT levels of 24.11, average AST levels of 19.43, and only 13%, well, I would average that up to 14%, were using insulin. So most of the study participants were on oral therapy. So now this brings me to ask, what kind of oral therapy? You know, I need to know more to share with my viewers. So I got in contact with Curalife, the Curalife people who import and distribute Curalin, and they sent me this bottle to share with you guys, since I expressed interest in sharing their study. And they said that the participants were on metformin. So if you are on metformin, a lot of people, they're not on insulin. And metformin is maybe their sole diabetes medication, or maybe they're taking glyburide with it. I can't speak for those persons, but they did say that all of their participants were taking metformin. So it was found to be safe. There were no reported negative side effects with taking the metformin with the Curalin for a month. There were not any reported issues. This supplement has 9, is it 9? 2, 4, 6, 9 herbal ingredients in it that work synergistically to keep blood sugar levels under control while taking this with prescribed medication. So my goal, because this is a pilot study, and although it's pretty promising, has very promising results, as a clinical researcher, and I'm sharing this with you all, I feel like it is still my responsibility to share a little bit more information. So I'm going to follow this video up with additional information. I'm going to be looking up clinical trials involving each of the ingredients on this bottle. Now, these ingredients have mainly scientific names here. Some of them I recognize what they are. I recognize fenugreek. I recognize bitter melon extract. I recognize Gymnema sylvester. I recognize also that a lot of these are singularly contributory to maintaining adequate insulin levels in the body, and helping to maintain metabolism and keeping blood sugar under control. But I would just like to get some more information. It's particularly clinical trial information, so I'm going to follow up. If you find that this clinical trial, and I shared it with you, you can always look it up for yourself on PUBMED.GOV. That's my go-to for published trials, and you want to give this a try. A link to this, my personal link, since I was in contact with the company, will be in the description below in this video, and you can click it and go straight to the product. But I will read for you quickly what it says here. Curalin Advanced Glucose Support promotes healthy glycemic response, promotes healthy energy levels, supports healthy metabolism of carbohydrates and fats. One bottle has 180 capsules. And I'll actually show you what the capsules look like. They're not very big. They look pretty manageable. They are indeed capsules, so they won't hurt your stomach. There we go. And they are, because this also comes up a lot with people, are they vegan? These are veggie capsules. Outside of the herbal ingredients that make up the formula, there's rice flour and hydroxypropylmethylcellulose, which is a vegetable base for the capsule. So I hope you find this helpful. Like I said, please share this. Please subscribe to my channel. I will be following up with more information in the future about clinical trials about each ingredient. The issue with a lot of clinical trials for these kinds of herbal ingredients is that oftentimes they are what we call preclinical trials. And in fact, which means that they've been tested in animals, usually mice, Worcester rats, or something like that. And so we have very little access to information on how these herbs respond in human beings. So that is why I've dedicated this channel to finding that kind of information. And that is absolutely important, because a lot of times people don't realize, they'll hear, oh, this has been clinically tested and proven and da-da-da-da. They don't realize what they're listening to is preclinical testing, or in vivo testing in cell line, testing in cell lines. In vivo's animal testing, but testing in cell lines, and not necessarily a human being taking it, so we can really see how that substance performs after going through the digestive tract and so on. So that is what I bring to the table. So if you find this helpful at all, please leave a comment. I will respond. If you have further questions that I'm able to answer, my email is provencures@gmail.com. And I thank you so much for watching, and I thank you for subscribing, and I thank you for your comments. And happy holidays. Yeah, this is that time of year. Hopefully I'll be able to get at least one more video out before the end of the year. If not, I will proceed again in January. Be blessed and take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.